We lit live. This is WBBC Chicago. Yeah. 77.3. Your hottest digital station.
Now in digital HD sound.
What's going out there, people of Radio Land? It's the one and only DJ Malone. How you guys doing out there? To you, and you out there, man. I do appreciate everybody for listening. Big shouts to the UK, man. Big shouts to you guys, man, because it's in the evening time, man. You guys know, man. I love talking to people out there who have a story to tell, and I really like he come back to me, man. He come back to the station, and he brought some heat with him, man. And I really want you guys to get into him, just in case if you didn't get to know him. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Hello, I'm Robin. I'm Innocence of Youth, and here with a brand new record. It's called Chicago House. So thank you for having me back. I really appreciate it.
Innocence of Youth, man. How you feeling, man?
Really good, really good. Yeah, I've been. It's been a super creative time. I play acoustic shows, live shows, and I've been primarily focusing on them. But now I've written this record, and I wanted to plug it to the world, and I'll particularly to you and to this station, because it's called Chicago House, and we'll get into why it's called that. And I hope I'm doing it justice. But yeah, and Tom Bombin, basically, yeah.
I love this, man. I you know what, bro? I really enjoyed our last conversation. It was just authentic. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, it was brilliant. I'm real privileged to be back.
Hey, let me. So, just in case people who didn't get to listen into, give us a basic 411 about you, just in case anybody who didn't listen.
So, yeah, Innocence of Youth was born the artist name in 2020, and I started making. I played guitar primarily, and I started making like electronic records, songs, depending, and yeah, I had all these guitar little ideas, but I didn't have a band. Do you know what I mean? So I didn't have I love being in bands, but it was lockdown, so we couldn't see anyone, and via Zoom. I did try via Zoom, and it was really, really difficult. And then it all changed when I downloaded like a hip hop beat, and I know you support like hip hop, you love hip hop, and so this all correlates. And basically, I put like randomly one night, I remember it being like 4 a.m. I couldn't sleep. And it was very, very hot in England at the time. And I just remember it being really, really sunny, really warm all day, and then like really hot evenings, which is rare here. and then it all changed for me. That's it basically. So here we are in 2026 with 14, now going to be 15 songs out, and a little fan base, which is fantastic. And which is really cool.
I like this, man. I really I think when I listen to you, bro, I like the fact that you have a collective of sounds. I like the fact that when I listen to it, it's not just one set genre, if that makes sense. I like the fact that you use a lot of different sounds and different arts and put it in there and make it your own. And I really enjoy that.
Thank you.
So let me ask you this: your love for music started when?
Love for music. Good question. It started 2000, and my love for music really started when I picked up the electric guitar. Because and what's interesting is I loved lead guitar. So I had a guitar teacher, and she was amazing, and I really, really good teacher. Like she called me out on things and be like, "You haven't practiced," but I'll get into that. But when I heard the Beatles like Fleetwood Mac, but it was the melodies, and then that's when the love started. But I'd say the deep love, the real passion, started when I heard like electronic records that incorporated those similar melodies into, but with more of a kick to it. Okay. Do you know, like more of a, because the Beatles have got like a lot of very upbeat records, but that dancey. I remember just like I used to run a lot, and I was quite a good runner, and I remember running and thinking, this is like, it was so powerful. It was, something, it sounds simplistic, but it was making me run faster and for longer. Real. And it was just, and then it was just brilliant. And I had a pair of Dr. Dre beats, which at the time were being, were like the best headphones, really, really like popular, and the bass on them. I remember just thinking, this bass, whereas like the songs I loved, it wasn't as powerful as that, Yes, right. Yeah, that's where it started, and that's where you know, with like when we spoke previously, with like the old school tracks I've released, like we're going back to the old school, like that's talking about sort of me taking a journey back to then, you know, to like when I was more carefree and young. And I want people when they hear like the song today, sorry, to be like to feel like hopefully feel like some nostalgia, you know, like when they were back in there, you know, back in the day, sort of thing.
And you know what I think too is that what I enjoy is hearing your story. You could tell the passion, the love is
Oh, thank
there.
you.
You could tell that this is something that you really, I really feel this way in the core about this, man. And I enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy it. Let me ask you this: from that point when you started, have you seen the evolution of your artistry to now?
How do I say? Oh, well, the genre, yeah, the genre. Just to go into like genres, I suppose the evolution of it. The genres. My brother showed me like EDM, but you know, like the 2000. That was around like 2010, and I just absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Artists like Porter Robinson, Hardwell, you know, like EDC and Ultra Festival and like a Miami Festival, like, but really
Yeah,
like Fourth
yeah.
and Floor, big lead synths, huge kick drums. Um, yeah, and then the evolution of it, and then over time, how many years later? That was 2009. I apologize. So now we're 2026. My taste has changed, developed, but yeah, and but the evolution of it is quite funny, really, because now I'm focusing on nostalgic stuff. I'm not trying to. I'm not one for trying to follow trends.
That's right.
I've
That's right.
tried it, and then once, and then I have actually achieved it once. It was like a TikTok thing, but then that trend ended, and it was like, oh no, now I've got to. And it was quite exhausting. I appreciate, I respect people that do that, but it didn't work for me personally, you know. And
That's real.
but I try to do what feels right, what feels like, you say, you know, hopefully it comes across. I do deeply love, thoroughly love my music career,
That's real. That's real.
and design, sound design, and creating music. And you know, I even obsess over like a bass drum. I'll listen if I get a
That's real.
bass drum
That's real.
right, like I did in like I hopefully have in this track. I'll listen to it for like half an hour
That's
because I'm like,
amazing.
that my headphones are shaking, you know, and I've bought a new subwoofer which is astronomically bassy for live events, and I'll listen to it, be like, but then I feel, dare I say, it's like proud of myself for being able to actually do that, because 10 years ago my bass drums, as producers hopefully will relate, would sounded horrendous. They were like distorting,
That's
and
real.
I used to turn the compressor up to like plus 12 dB.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
But can I tell you as a homie? Can I tell you my when? Well, I know we haven't known each other that long, but can I,
yeah.
listening to you, and these are all good praises. I ain't bashing or anything like that. From listening to you from the very beginning, and because I like to do my research on people and everything, so
Yeah,
listening to you, I could tell that you were learning different sounds. And what I
yeah. Oh,
liked about it is that as you grew and as time goes on, you started learning how to manipulate the sounds and
mm,
incorporating it to where now you're honing it in where I think you have capsulated, okay, I want to feel this sound and I know how to capitulate it on the most eye appeal. And I think
mm.
you do that very beautifully, man. So when I look at your evolution, I think it's a beautiful course.
That really means a lot to me. Thank you very much. That really does mean a lot, because not a lot of people, as a friend, like people, sorry to sound, but understand that. And but yeah, I studied. I do not study. That's the wrong word, but I do really try to learn. Yeah, to learn genres, and to pay respect almost to the old school producers, or the heavyweight
Right,
producers, you know.
right.
And I do think when I put records out, like, I hope this is doing justice to to like the 90s or to the 2000s era, or like people that used to rave, the 90s rave scene and the 90s house scene. I hope that you know, when I type it in, sometimes I'm nervous, thinking, I hope this is like okay, you know, I hope this is people aren't going to. But then people, I seem to just get primarily like today on my SoundCloud, I've had a number of comments. You know, if people want to head to my SoundCloud, it's kind of like people saying like, you know, things like this has made my day. And it's like, wow, you know, and people saying like, and I can see that people were like repeat listeners, for example, thinking, wow, someone's enjoyed it so a lot that they've gone back, and you know, people live busy lives, and they've gone back and listened to it, like someone listened to it like 27 times. And it's
That's
like
amazing, bro.
but that, I love that. I think like they're obviously going about their day, walking or been at work and maybe not had the best day, and children or whatever, and but they found the time to, that's like, you know, an extortionate number, but some of them are like four times, and they've listened to the whole thing, you know, and I just love that, you know.
I think
But I really,
too,
yeah, thank you very much for those kind words. That means an awful lot to me.
no, man, I really enjoy your music, and I think too is you're in a bubble where a lot of people want to live that feel. And I tell people this a lot of times. One, I'm old enough to know, because I'm only 38, but I'm old enough to know sounds. And then when as a DJ myself, being from Chicago, but then I travel to maybe Houston, and I have to learn the past, the now, and the future. Same thing if I go to New York, or if I go to Colorado, or if I go to any spots where I want to learn the history, so I have a good foundation and everything. And so that's why I can see the appreciation, because you understand the foundation of the history. But I also think people who are younger, they also want to live that type of nostalgia, because to them it may not be nostalgia, it just may be a enhanced experience, because they never have gotten that before.
So definitely, I mean, I think it's like sorry, I agree totally with what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, though, man. It's a beautiful thing. Let's get into the Chicago house, man. I love my Chicago house music. So let's get into this, man. So, talk to us. How did we come about, and how did we make it?
So I was initially looking at on a sampling site, and I didn't sample anything in the end. It's all original. And just out of interest, it's a funny old thing. I was looking at, I was really, my ears were really sort of taken back by French house, like disco, right? And then I picked up the guitar. I'm trying to remember this, because it all happened at about 4 a.m, about 9 days ago, a week ago. And I had this like I'm not going to sing it because it sounds a bit weird, but I had this like this melody and this little riff. And in the song, there's a breakdown section where it really changes. I think it changes. It doesn't change tempo. Oh no, it does. No, it doesn't change tempo, but the vibe changes. But hopefully smoothly. And I just felt like, honestly, it just felt like I was, because we had such a. I thoroughly enjoyed being on here with you a few weeks ago, and then I just thought, and that's how it sort of we came together again, and it just worked. And I thought this has just got like, I thought it has like a Chicago vibe to it, and I hope it does justice to the Chicago house genre. I did listen while I was making it. I was A and Bing, you know, like to Chicago. So I took real influence from 5 tracks I had in the end, which is a lot to reference, and I didn't sample any of them. I just like I took influence and just took influence from the beats and the melodies and the vibe and the tempo. I was originally, I can't remember the tempo now, but I slowed it down about 10 BPM just to have that groove. And but what I love about the track is the way the change up, the switch up, I call it, like the breakdown section, whatever it is. I play guitar all the way through the track, and then I play bass. Which is not, it's not bass guitar, it's actually my guitar but tuned down an octave on a pitch shifter thing, which you're not supposed to do. And that's so it's a complicated one, but the vibe was good, you know. Like I believe if you could bottle something up where you're in the studio, or I'm in the studio, and something's working, if you could bottle that up, it would be very popular as a soft drink, because when you know something's working, it's like, okay, here we go. Like I knew it was going to be hopefully a good record, and I can't wait for people to hear it. Oh, gone muted.
My bad. I think when I listen to it, when I listen to the track, and I really like the track, and I'm gonna give my inputs after we come back. But what I really enjoyed is that the foundation, you really got it on point.
Thank you.
On the foundation of a Chicago house track. Now,
Yeah,
there's different forms of, Chicago ghetto house, there's Chicago South Side house, there's different forms. But the foundational piece, for me, it capsulated, because I can remember being in they used to have these underground parties back when, and red light,
right,
red light, green light. So when it was red light, it was on. It was a movie, you know what I'm saying? And this is the type of feel where that type of song is what would, get us going and everything, man. So I really enjoyed it.
And it's very simplistic, but I just typed into YouTube, because if I to call a track Chicago House, of course, I really hope that people listening will think, yeah, that's cool, or that maybe reminds me of a Chicago House record that I've heard. But I listened to about 30 and just took influence. I don't know why, but I make music in the middle of the night, always in the middle of the night. It's like I wake up, everyone else in the world is asleep, and it's like it's just me and my computer and my guitar, and bless the neighbors. I'm joking, but yeah, what I'm super happy about is my first musical love, guitar. I play guitar on it, electric guitar, and I play the guitar that I learned my first ever guitar. So in my Fender Telecaster, and the tone, I altered the tone on the guitar. I'm a big believer in tone on guitar. I never just plug an instrument in and play it. I always adjust it, like even at gigs, heavily, and it just had that sweet sound to it, And but then I didn't go, I didn't want to go crazy on the guitar, because it's tempting to add layer after layer after layer of guitar, but just enough to give it that Chicago vibe,
I love this, man. Well, let's go ahead and play, man. You want to get into the mix?
Yeah, brilliant.
There's a Chicago house right here, man. Innocence of Youth. Make sure you guys get into it, man. All my house heads, man, make sure you guys get into it, man. Here comes a new record for you right here on Chicago 77.3. Let's go. Chicago 77.3, man. Make sure you guys get into it, man. It's Chicago House, Innocence of Youth. Make sure you guys get into it, man. As my phone was ringing up, one person, big shouts to Macy. She says, I need that record. Got me going. Love it, man. Love that for you, man. Like I said, you encapsulated the essence of it, bro. I really enjoyed it. I think, to me, this is, and I think you aimed it on the head, like when it has like a nostalgia feel, but a modern day take. I like the fact that I think this could be played in all, not all, when I say all genres, it's not like in a hip hop sense, but I think you could take this into an EDM. You could take this into a techno, dare I say trance. You know what I'm saying? Like these are things that I think that, like, you know, with the right DJs and with the right crowd, this is the one that's gonna get the party going.
Yeah. No, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah.
So when you listen back, how do you feel about it?
Really good, actually. Yeah. Just hearing it then. How do I feel? Yeah, just really. I feel like I got the vibe right. Do you know what I mean? Like the vibe I was looking for when I had I can't even remember now what the initial idea was. So I had a little bit on guitar. I had a practice session with a good friend of mine who's a keyboard player, and he was playing like he didn't play on the track, but he was playing. This is a couple of weeks ago, like really jazzy stuff. Yeah. And I went away, and I was working on this record then, and I thought I'd love to get like I don't play keyboard, but I managed to dial in some keys for this, like, which took me a long time because I don't play keyboard, so I did it by ear. And I thought I'd love to get the vibe he was getting. He's a very, very good keyboard player, so shout out to him. He's only just turned 16, and he's fantastic. But he does like gypsy jazz and jazz primarily, and there are other genres. But he knows all the seventh chords and the diminished chords and the beautiful things. And I went away from that, and then that night, or the next night, I was tired that night, but the next night I dialed in, my own keyboard stuff and MIDI, and I was like quite proud of myself because I don't play keyboard. And then the melody, like the dun 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 dun, I put that in. That was actually a guitar, but it didn't work on the guitar. Okay. But it did work as it's called the Big Sky, a synthesizer, and it worked on there. So it all just, like, the way I make music is, I don't want to say unfair. It's just like not playing keyboard and having to dial it into a screen. I'm sure you might. I don't know if you can relate. It's not easy. It took me just trial and error, but just fun. You're thinking, if this doesn't work, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to release it tonight. No one might ever hear this, but then it did work. And the one thing I would say to end this story is, what I absolutely love is that my guitar playing is on there. Like, I'm so happy. It's really hard for me personally to incorporate electric guitar, which was my first love in my life, really, in music, into electronic and make it work. Really quite difficult for me. I don't know if other people find it easy, but for me it's like quite difficult. So yeah,
I loved it, bro. I like I said, I liked it, especially when it went down, and then the break comes, and then it hits.
Yeah.
And I really like that. I really like things that can just, it's a groove, it's groovy. And it stays in tempo. Sometimes a lot of people will switch the tempo of the track, and don't get me wrong, it's cool to switch it, but I'm always been a big proponent of switch it mildly, not to where it's like it's abrupt or it loses the groove of it. Throughout the whole song, it kept the groove. So I love that.
Key changes as well. Key changes, and my DJ decks have got a key lock. And I forgot, I was rehearsing for recently for a friend's wedding that was an amazing night, and the key lock wasn't on. I thought, all the records are sounding so strange, and I thought I was doing something wrong. I thought they were all out, and the key lock wasn't on. And you have that, and then, like you say, tempo changes. It can I don't know, maybe a good. I've had it where because a DJ, at events stuff, and I've had it where a tempo change when I've done it has filled a dance floor, but then when I've done it and it's emptied a dance floor, so it's like sometimes I think, I'll go up to like 135 from 128, and it'll make people dance harder, but then it's like it for some reason throws them a bit. It's like what's happened there. But in songs, my software is my software's not very good for tempo changes, or I've never really looked into it too much, and it's difficult thing to get down for sure. You know, I've heard amazing tempo changes. I was playing a Beatles song at one of my acoustic gigs the other day where there is a key change, and it always and you have to step up from like, I can't remember the notes, but you step up like a tone, and it's like, and it's really quite difficult, you know.
Yeah. And you know, as a DJ, I can relate to you, because let's say I'm doing a party and like let's say the party is going right now. I'm in the hundreds, 100 BPMs. So I'm going up 110, 120, you know, 130. And so when you get to that point, it's like as a master, sometimes when you've been doing it so long, you don't want to get them going, and then at a point they gotta come down somehow.
Yeah.
So what I always do is that I either I do a hard stop where if let's say I'm at 130, right, and then I drop it to 65, which is, I know this is crazy from all my DJs out there. And here goes some mathematical stuff. Let's say at BPM's at 130, right? So what makes 130? 65 plus 65.
Yeah.
So if you bring it to 65 and then you try to match it at 130, it should go. Depending on the key and everything. But just understanding the logic of it. And I think you do that very well within the song. You understand, okay, hey, the tempo of the alignment, even when the music break hit, okay, we're off to the races. We're going. And then as the end of the song, the keys started coming in, and I really enjoyed that, man.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, because I really appreciate that. You know, it's it didn't take me an awful long time to produce, but I did. But what I mean is, while I was producing it, I did think a lot. Does that make sense? Like, I did think a lot. Like, I was creatively, you know, I was thinking, do I make a tempo change down? It would have been 20. I can't remember because I haven't got the software, but about 20 BPM, you know, to give it more of a push. But then I just settled. You know, when I make music, I do make music fast. I'm not a producer. I've never been a producer that will work on a song for. I've had, you know, bands. A band I went to see, you know, worked on a one song for a year, you know, and but that's a band where there's you know, there's a lot more maybe. But I don't rush them, but I like to get them done. I like to get them done at good speed and be like, and just make quick decisions and be like, not rushing it, but just calculated, you know, be like, does that work? And I tried it didn't work. And I'm one for, like, I have loads and loads of projects, and if I'm not really feeling it, if my, like, I even notice, like, my heart rate goes up when a song is working, and I'll be like, I get like an adrenaline rush and all these very good feelings. This is working. If I don't feel it, I save it, but I won't finish it, you know. I don't release. I've only ever released one record that I look back on, and I did kind of rush that a little bit. And I won't get into which one it is. And when I hear it back, it's not very well produced. It's not very well, and it just doesn't have much to it. But that was the only time. I can't remember why. I can't remember why, but I think I was just thinking. I was in the mindset that if I released loads of songs, that I'd build a fan base quicker, right? But that didn't happen. But I read something somewhere saying if you release like 20 songs in a certain amount of time, like, you'll get like, and I got a little bit like deluded, and then I was, I shouldn't have, probably I've deleted it now. So
yeah, and I could understand that mindset, because, you know, whenever you're just trying to see what works. But what I will say is that as, you know, just, you know, I like I said, I'm not a full blown artist. I DJ and produce, but you know, I think a lot of times we put out so much energy. And what I learned is you put in so much energy into these songs, and I'm always a big component on is you put out 3 good songs that are embodiment of you. That's just as good as putting out 20 songs.
Yeah, for sure. You can put out. Yeah, I believe I could put out 100, and if none of them land, then it's going to be, and that's a lot of it. Like you say, like for me, I come out of studio sessions, I like exhausted, not physically,
Yeah.
mentally. I'm sure
Yeah.
you relate. You know, like creatively, not it's a good feeling. It's like similar to like after a run, for example, or if you're a keen runner, or resistance training or whatever that might be. But it's a different like. But then at the same time, I can't sleep because I'm thinking
Yeah.
about the song.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, oh, maybe if I just open my lap. But then you got to be very mindful in the creative world of not forcing. I've never ever. I tried when I was like 16 to force music, and the results were astronomically bad, really,
Okay.
really bad. Couldn't even. But that was because I was inexperienced at producing. But I used to even a couple of years ago, I'd be like, okay, today's the day. I'm gonna make a hit.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
I'd clean my room, clean my studio at the time, make it absolutely perfect. Sit there, and you sit there with an empty project for 2 hours
Yeah.
because you're trying to force it. Annoyingly for me, my creativity always happens at around 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And then it's around 4 until 7. Then I go back to bed, and then I wake back up, proof listen, and then there's been countless more times than there's hundreds of projects that have never been released, and there's 14 or 15, can't remember, that have been released. I'll come back to it and think, nah, I'm not feeling that,
That's okay.
and then that's it. But then to end this, like sometimes 6 months later, like I went on a flight on holiday not long ago, and I was just looking because I was bored. I was looking through projects, and one of them is now on my SoundCloud, but that was like 2.5 years old.
Yeah,
you
man.
know,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It's strange, bro. Like it's when it's there, it's there. I don't know how to explain it, but when that feeling comes, it's there.
Yeah.
And I like I said, I think too is you do a wonderful job of mastering your time and understanding and everything.
Mm.
Let me ask you this. I know we kind of talked on mentally exhausting, but how are you doing mentally now?
Really good, thank you. Yeah, really good. Yeah,
That's good.
best I've been in a long time. Yeah, really, really good. I just to throw this out there, I don't drink alcohol.
Yeah.
I will say this because we've built a relationship now. Like I'm actually 16 months sober today.
That's
So
amazing, bro. I
thank
love
you.
that. He gets
Yeah.
the horns for that. Give him the horns, man. That's
Oh,
what's
thank
up,
you.
bro.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I've got the date wrong. In 3 days. Sorry
It
about
doesn't
that. I'm
matter. He
16
gets
months
three horns
sober.
anyway.
None of it matters
Definitely,
too
man.
much, but
That's what's up, bro.
yeah.
I
And
I like that.
because in this industry, with just alcohol, alcohol. Sorry, it's like you might walk into I walk in can or used to maybe walk into gigs, and sometimes people might say like they were just being nice. You having a beer, and it's like, yeah, go on then. If you do it, me and you're doing it multiple times a week. It's then like, whoa, okay,
It creates the
But
it
that's kind
creates
of
the
all. Yeah,
habit. I get that.
yeah. And then it was a nerves thing. It was I get a bit nervous, and I never struggled with like but then there's going to a different thing in my singing, remembering 60 songs worth of lyrics after a drink is not very easy. And but
I can
you,
imagine.
you think that you're like sounding amazing, but you're not, and
Yeah,
you're forgetting lyrics, you're getting lyrics wrong, and that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's great to be pushing on that 16-month mark for sure.
I love that for you, man. I love that for you. So, what's next for you, bro? What you got coming up, man? Anything coming up on the pipeline? What's going on?
Next up will be this Chicago house is on SoundCloud. So if the listeners do fancy, if it's okay to plug my SoundCloud, it's on Innocence of Youth Music UK. So that's Innocence of Youth Music UK on SoundCloud. I'm building up a little fan base on there now, which is really cool. And
That's what's up, bro.
but to get it on major streaming platforms like Spotify, I think I'm going to release it, but there's no plan yet. It's just a thought,
Okay.
and that's it. So yeah, to get it on Spotify, get some cool. I've got a fantastic artist called how do you pronounce his name? Riv Triani.
Okay.
He's from Ukraine, and he does my artwork, and so shout out to him, and he might well listen back to this. And Yeah, so I get in touch with him, and he does artwork. He's done all my artwork for all 14 tracks, and honestly, he has nailed it every time. I've got like a song called Summer, Adrenaline, London. London is the absolute favorite piece of artwork I've ever seen. Like I just fell in love with this piece of art. I'm mesmerized. Like my mum's an artist, and I showed her, and she was just like, she really knows what she's doing with art right there. She really was just like, wow, that's incredible. But people that I've sent it to have said like, where did you get the artwork from? And I said it's credited my artist, and he's doing well now, so that's great.
That's what's up, bro. I really think I think you're on the right path, bro. You're on the right path, and keep on doing you, being the silent light that you are, man. Instagram, everything where they can find you, man.
All my social media is Innocence of Youth. So just Innocence of Youth, all three separate words. That's Spotify, Amazon, all major streaming platforms. If you Google it, I've altered it soon, so they all come up under one Ditto link. It's a smart link, so you can hit, if you want to go ditto.com. Actually, no, sorry. If you go just Google, and then go to and just type in Innocence of Youth music, they'll all come up under one link. And then YouTube, and then but Facebook is just IOY, so that's like the initials, so IOY on Facebook. But I don't use that much, so follow me on Instagram. Yeah,
definitely, man, definitely. One of these days, bro, whenever we get situated, because I know we're kind of going back and forth between the moves and stuff like that, with the stations and everything. One of these days, man, we definitely gonna see if we can get Innocence of Youth out here, man. One of these days.
Yeah, I'd love that. I'd absolutely love that.
You have my word on that, man. Once it makes sense, we'll definitely get you.
I have a friend who's just gone 2 days ago and sent me photos of Florida.
Okay.
And he's absolutely loving it. Said it's just like it's a dream come true, and I was very jealous. But yeah, if I was going to come out Chicago every time, we can link up. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man, we could definitely have some fun, bro. Innocence, I do appreciate you coming on here and coming back on here first and foremost and talking with me, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks so much. I really, really do appreciate it, and I hope the listeners enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
Enjoyed our chat.
And we're gonna put it in rotation in here, man. We're gonna put it in.
All right, thank you. Cheers.
So we're gonna have it on here on the station so people can hear that, bro. Because people need to hear this type of music. So I do appreciate this.
All right, thank you,
man. I appreciate everybody for listening to me or wherever you're coming from UK, from all the way from Chicago to Houston, everything in between, man. It's the one and only DJ Malone, Innocence, bro. I appreciate this.
Yeah, thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers, man. Cheers to you.
Cheers. Thank you.
It's the one and only DJ Malone. We out. Wow.
We lit live. This is WBBC Chicago. Yeah. 77.3. Your hottest digital station.
Now in digital HD sound.